Hello, hello. Russell Hotels going live just for a couple minutes. You know how we do it. Today is Tuesday, so that can only mean one thing. On air with Russell of Hotels. You know that live hospitality talk show everyone's talking about? Today is show number 355. Yeah. I still have to pinch myself to say I've actually done one of them, not just 355. I was just in awe that I can even do one years ago, but now we're at number 355. And today, guess what? We have a guest. So not sure if you guys have been paying attention to some of the postings that I put up, but we have Rick the water guy here. Okay, so Rick, and I want to say his last name is Skinker, correct? Did I say that correctly?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. So thank you so much for joining. It's interesting. If you don't mind, can you tell the people, because I think this is important, before we even get into anything, how did we meet?
We met because I saw a couple of your podcasts and commented on them and kind of told you a little bit about what it is that I do, improving guest experience and the whole shower thing, and suggested it might be of interest to you on one of your shows. You said, well, that sounds interesting. Let's meet.
What was the platform?
I guess it was a Teams meeting. I think it was
No,
a
no,
Teams
no.
meeting.
Where did you see me? Where did you
I saw
find
you
me?
on LinkedIn.
Okay, that's what I wanted to say.
LinkedIn.
That's what I wanted you to say.
Yeah, I've been seeing your feeds on LinkedIn. I started following you after watching some of your videos. And so a couple of things that I saw didn't really catch my interest, but then a couple of them started to, because they were kind of in my wheelhouse.
Okay.
And so that's when I reached out to you.
Okay, very good, very good. See, I just wanted to say that because a lot of people we sleep on LinkedIn as being and I always say it's a place where businesses can it's a business development platform. A lot of people look at it as just being it's a social media platform. It's not Facebook, okay, and
No.
Facebook is not LinkedIn. So, and there's a lot of business to business on there, and I just appreciate that you're able to find me. That's one thing. You're able to find me, and he reached out to me. I mean, just as simple as we're on here doing this live together now. He reached out to me a couple of weeks ago and said, "Hey, in fact, before we even get into it, I'm going to read what he sent me, right? Because I just think it. Like I said, I'm always interested to share, stories of how you're found and things like that. So okay, anyway, so this is just real quick. It says, "Hi Russell, I came across Russell of Hotels and really appreciate the perspective you bring to helping hotels improve visibility and performance in such a competitive industry. With your background across operations, sales, and marketing, I thought you might find this topic interesting for a conversation with your audience. I'm Rick, founder of Indoor Water Conservation. For the past 10 plus years, my team has worked with hotels on improving water flow and shower performance. It's one of those operational details that most properties overlook, but it quietly influences guest satisfaction, online reviews, repeat bookings, and overall revenue. To date, we've helped hotels save over 900 million gallons of water while also recovering significant booking revenue by improving comfort and consistency in the guest experience through better flow balancing. What many operators don't realize is how often poor water pressure or inconsistent showers show up indirectly in reviews and lost bookings. Given your focus on helping hotels strengthen their brands and guest experience, I think this could make a valuable discussion around how operational fundamentals influence reputation, reviews, and revenue. So why not respond to that? Okay. It takes
Yeah.
time to write a letter like that on LinkedIn. He sent it to me on the messages on LinkedIn, and I saw it because I get a lot of messages on LinkedIn. People, they say the darndest thing or they ask the darndest questions, but this one was intentional. It was eye catching, and it kept my attention. I'm like, 'cause my attention span is like a gnat. I go in and out. And I saw it, I'm like, wait a minute. And then when it got down to the 900 million gallons of water, I'm like, this is crazy. So, okay. So Man, that's almost like reading your bio, but I'm going to read that right now. Okay, so let me read the bio, then we're going to get into it. But I just want people to see and to know that's what got my attention. That's why you're on this show now, and that's why we had a previous conversation before this show, and that's why we'll forever be connected and linked because of that. And I do appreciate that. So real quick, Rick's bio. Rick the Water Guy Skinker is CEO and co-founder of Indoor Water Conservation LLC, which he launched in 2015 with Kenneth Ledon. Is that to say that correctly?
Ledon.
Okay, to bring balanced water efficiency to showers and sinks in hotels and multifamily housing. With 30 plus years in management and operations, 12 plus years focused specifically on water efficiency in hospitality, Rick helps hotel owners, management firms, and brand executives cut water and energy costs, often up to 50%, while protecting guest experience and NOI. He holds an MBA in water efficiency and is based in Bonita, California. So without further ado, Mr. Rick, the water guy, is our guest today.
Thank you. Appreciate the opportunity.
You are more than welcome. So, okay, so how did you get started with hotels? Why hotels?
Well, it's interesting. When I found out about this concept, this product, really back in 2013, 2014, and the application at the time was primarily sinks, not showers. And there was an opportunity to buy this technology. My then partner and I bought this technology, got started in it, got involved in the projects that the inventor was working on at the time. And one of them was a courtyard in downtown San Diego. And the chief engineer at the time, Dave Campbell, was a really behind this product. He saw a lot of value in it. And he said, why can't you guys do this for showers? So we said, okay, let's do it for showers too. Why not? So we adapted the device and started using it for showers. And that's really when we kind of started heading towards hospitality more than multifamily. And I really, as the first couple of years of doing this have evolved, I saw a real opportunity of getting more granular in terms of really dialing in how we can resize our product and deliver the same flow in every room on every floor. Because up until that time, when I started taking that direction, our product, just like buying an off-the-shelf shower head, was rated to flow at a certain gallons per minute at a certain water pressure, and that's it. So you buy a device that's rated to flow at, say, 1.75 gallons a minute at 60 pounds per square inch of water pressure. And inevitably, a hotel has varying water pressure throughout, so that same shower head's going to flow higher and lower than that. And so my concept was, how do we dial that in and really kind of balance the flows?
Okay. So, from there, how did you get this, I guess, this concept to market, or how did you reach out to hotels? I mean, was it because you had a connection with the gentleman who was the chief engineer at that courtyard? Did he open the doors for you, or was there another route that you?
He helped, but what we really did, we did everything we could think of, from literally going door to door and going to front desk and saying, hey, can I talk to the general manager? Could I talk to the chief engineer? I went to Vegas and went up and down the strip and literally went to every property and tried to get in. We advertised, we went to trade shows, wrote some articles and got them published. And so the thing that really helped was when we were able to get our foot in the door at then like 8 or 10 Kimpton properties in San Francisco in about 2015, 2016. From there, I was asked to Guy Sell, who is now a general manager, but he was a chief engineer at the Argonaut Hotel. He kept saying, man, you got to go to the sustainability committee here in San Francisco. It's worth the trip. So I started flying up once a month from San Diego And all of a sudden, I started getting introduced to all these major players, general managers and engineering managers at hotels in the San Francisco area, and our business really blossomed there. That turned into getting noticed by the owners of those hotels, and that really took us nationwide. So the referral aspect of this and being able to deliver and show that our product really works, that it saves water and energy and it reduces utility costs and it improves the guest experience. That for years was really what kind of got us some traction and got us going in the hotel industry.
Okay. I like this. I like this. I like where this is going. Um, Let me just, okay, before I move on to the next question, I just want to let people know, feel free to make comments. The chat is open. If you're on LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, you can make your comments. Facebook, you can make your comments. Some of those comments will come on the screen in real time, and I'll be able to put them on the screen in real time so the whole world can see. The only thing on Instagram, I can see the comments, but I will not be able to put them on the screen because Instagram works independently of this Restream that I use. So I just want to let people know, but feel free to chat it up, make comments, ask questions, because that's what it's all about. It's all about interaction. So I have a question for you here. It says, who normally is the person or the first person who calls you, like from a hotel? Or is it from a hotel? Is it an ownership group? Is it asset management? Who would be the one that would call you?
Well, most of the time, I'd say over the past 5 years or so, the calls are usually coming from asset managers,
Okay.
people that really are responsible for the performance of a hotel in an ownership group. And many of those people have heard about me or they know me from doing previous projects.
Okay. So people know you as the water guy already. So it's not like this is a new concept now. They pretty much, most people know you. A lot of people do know you.
A lot of people do. It's amazing how many people don't really know about what we do because there aren't a lot of companies out there that do this. And most people, even a lot of engineers that I run across and general managers, they think, hey, I'm spending $120 for this shower head and it's going to flow at whatever it's rated, 1.75, for example, not realizing that they flow all over the place. So inevitably they install these shower heads and they have some guests that have flows that are too low and they get upset and they don't want to come back and they complain, or they have some guests who think, hey, this shower is great, when in fact they're wasting a lot of water and energy and it's costing them a lot of money.
Okay. So break it down for us. How do you, what are the steps that you take? So whoever calls you, if that's the asset management calls you, you go in, you do some type of assessment. Can you give us a little, you don't have to tell all the trade secrets, but can you give us kind of a step-by-step, what do you do as far as assessing a property?
Sure. So the assessment consists of an upfront audit, and then the assessment where we run all the analytics based on the assessment. So based on the audit. So the audit is a strategic series of flow tests throughout a property, top, middle, and bottom floors, front, back, et cetera, to give us an idea of how unbalanced the flows are throughout the property. So we'll find high flows, low flows, flows in the middle, and we'll come up with an average flow rate and a variation in flow rate. So with the same shower head, it's very common to have the same hotel has flows from, say, 1.2 or 3 gallons a minute up to 3 gallons a minute for various reasons. That's a huge spread. So clearly the guests are not getting a consistent shower experience. And so what we do is then run the numbers. We have a model where we take that flow characteristic and we basically say, based on your occupancy, number of people per room, how long people take showers, et cetera, you're wasting, say, 1 million gallons a year of water. And so on the water waste, it's costing you $50,000 a year in water, sewer, and energy costs. That's the waste side. But on the other side, which is more kind of a newer revelation, not really a revelation, but it's a newer way that we have to measure it, is the low flow side. And the impact of those low flows is actually bigger than the waste of water and energy and the cost in most hotels. And the reason is that it's about guest satisfaction. If you Google or run an AI analysis of what are the common complaints that guests have about hotels, you'll come back with things like the bed, the internet, the TV, the shower. It's almost always one of the top 5. And so a lot of hotels buy new beds, they get a bigger TV, they increase their internet capabilities, maybe buy new shower heads. But when they buy new shower heads, they're trading one problem for the same problem, basically. Just they get a better looking shower head. So, really what our assessment will then tell somebody is, here's how much you're wasting. Here's what it's costing you. Here's how much your hotel is exposing your guests to unsatisfied guests or dissatisfaction. And here's potentially what it's costing you. Because on that side of the equation, when a guest takes a shower and doesn't like it, most of the time they don't complain. They just don't come back. That's lost revenue. That's revenue you probably would have gotten when they like everything else about the hotel. They don't come back because of that. That same guest many times will write about it on social media, and they'll say, I had a crappy shower at this hotel. The hotel's great. The food's really good. I love the bed and everything else, but the shower was horrible. So that gets out to everybody who's considering that hotel to stay at that hotel. So those people that are considering to make the buying decision to stay at that hotel, they see a review like that and they don't see that same review across the street, they're going to go across the street. Now, this is not necessarily the group traveler, because all the plans are made for group projects and conventions, but the people who are paying for it out of their own pocket are going to look at all the aspects that are important to them.
Oh, yeah.
So we've found through working with some hotel general managers and asset managers that there really is a way for us to model what the impact of and the bad showers make on revenue. And it hits revenue when the guest doesn't come back, and it hits revenue when people see those bad reviews and decide not to go to the hotel at all. So that could be hundreds of thousands of dollars a year of kind of hidden revenue hits. And so, as AI becomes more prevalent and more important to how hotels make improvements, it really plays into the guest satisfaction or dissatisfaction in terms of shower flows. And, the problem is it's a hidden problem. Most people at a hotel, maybe they get a guest complaint. Maybe they get one a month. Maybe they get one every 3 months. But the reality is it's not just that one room. There's 5, 10, 15 other rooms that have the same problem, and they're just not hearing about it. They don't know about it because they're not in the room taking showers. Only the guests are. So without running an audit like our water audit and then running the assessment, most hotels have no idea what their exposure is. Imagine going to a high-end hotel and spending over $1,000 a night and having a crappy shower. That's not, and even in a Courtyard or any hotel, really, people really like those luxuries that maybe they think they can get at a hotel that they can't get at home.
Yeah, you're right about that. You're absolutely right about that. So you said a lot of hotels don't even know this, and unless they run an audit like you mentioned, right?
Yeah. It's how could they? They don't really see the shower flow. They might think they've got really nice Speakman shower heads and they look nice. They're top of the line shower heads. They're shiny and they look good, but they have no idea how they're really flowing.
Wow. Now, okay. So I guess maybe is that not part of the, and I think we talked about PMing a room, preventive maintenance a room, which probably happens supposedly maybe twice a year annually per room. Let's just say it happens twice a year. But all they do is, for the most part, if they're replacing shower heads, they just replace the shower head. And as long as it's flowing to them, that's all that matters, right? Is
Yeah,
that
because they're not measuring it, so they don't know.
measuring it?
And maybe they clean the shower head, but if you don't measure it, you really don't know. It might look okay, but a good shower to you might be different than a good shower to, a woman that has long, thick hair, for example. Right?
Okay.
People like you and me that don't have a lot of hair, we can rinse, shampoo, and soap pretty easily.
Yes.
But women and men that have thick hair, you get shampoo in there. If you don't have enough water flow, you can't rinse it out. That's a very frustrating situation. It really is.
Okay, now I'm going to talk about conservation. Okay, so we're in California. Okay, you're based in San Diego area. I'm in Los Angeles. California, for the most part, is big on conservation, right? So why aren't I'm just going to throw this out here, and why aren't hotels doing more as far as conservation? Then, if they don't know what the water flow is, or is it a situation they don't know what they don't know?
That's it. They don't know what they don't know.
Okay, so for someone that's watching here, I work for a hotel. I'm the general manager. I'm the chief engineer that happens to be watching this. What would you tell them right now?
I would say contact us to set up the evaluation, the assessment. Doesn't cost anything, but at least then you know. And so if the information and the results are compelling enough, you're going to want to take action, but they may not be. But I can tell you in 7 out of every 10 audits and assessments that we run, they're either wasting a lot of water and energy. That's kind of the conservation side, but it's also the cost side because it's costing a lot of money. And then on the other side, they're also checking their guests into rooms that have inadequate low flows. And so they lose on that revenue side again, where the guest doesn't want to come back, or they write a negative review and other people that would otherwise go to that hotel decide not to because they see that review. So unless you measure it, you just don't know. So it costs nothing to find out.
Okay. And then there's I know you can assess what the waste amount of water is. And I think you said there's a formula you can figure out like how much money they're losing as well.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So we can find out with pretty high degree of accuracy how much money they're wasting on the water cost, the sewer cost, and the energy cost. When we can identify in sinks and showers how much money is being wasted every year, we can apply the rates for water, sewer, and energy and find out how much they're paying. And water, sewer, and energy rates are going up almost everywhere every year. In San Diego alone, in the past year and a half, they've gone up over 20%, and they're going up even more. And when the water rates go up, the sewer rates go up. And so, we can model that. And on the revenue side, if we find that 10% of the rooms through our audit have flows that are ultra low that cause guest complaints, we can then say, okay, 10% of your rooms at, say, your occupancy is 70%, that's going to represent a certain amount of revenue. So if you even take a low percentage, like 1% of that revenue, and agree that 1% of those people aren't going to come back, that's usually tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. But the reality is it's probably more than just a low percentage. It's probably more than that. And that's just the guests that don't come back, not the guests that never come in the first place. So that's kind of how we look at that side of it. Every general manager, every asset manager can understand that if they have that much of their room inventory has low flows, they can understand that there is definitely an impact to their revenue.
Interesting. This is so interesting. You've helped hotels save more than 900 gallons of water. Can you share one success story that every hotel owner or general manager should hear?
Well, yeah, I mean, there have been several of them. We had, for example, the Park Central Hotel in San Francisco. They were wasting millions of gallons a year. 650 room hotel. It's now a Hyatt South of Market. The very first year alone, this was before we were looking at the revenue impact. The water, sewer, and energy costs in the first year were almost $200,000. And the cost for our services and our product, we custom make our product to balance these flows, was low enough that their return on investment was like 3 months.
Hmm.
It was huge.
Wow. Wow.
So interesting, and interesting story, which really was a really good. I mean, for me, it was great. The company at the time that owned that property was called LaSalle. They since were sold to Pebblebrook,
Okay.
and they had a meeting at that hotel, and one of the top managers asked about our product. Somebody brought it up in one of their meetings, and he said, "What hotel do we have this in?" They said, "This one." So they came back the next morning, and he said, "I took a shower. I saw the product. It blends in great. I love it. I want this in all our hotels." I was flying back from New York through Chicago. I landed in Chicago. My phone just lit up. Every asset manager at LaSalle had called me, and including asset managers at one of their consulting firms that they used. And they said, "We got to set up audits at all our hotels. We got to get these done. Our management wants us to get on this immediately." That was tremendous. I mean, it was totally out of the blue, totally unexpected, and it really represents the fact of what you don't know what you don't know,
Wow.
like you said earlier.
Yeah. Okay. What's an average day look like for Rick the Water Guy?
Well, it's real important to me to stay healthy, so I get up and I walk 3 or 4 miles every day, and if I have a busy day, then I do what a lot of people do, is take a shower. And then I get busy, and I usually have some meetings every day. I present our assessment reports and answer questions. I follow through with my assistant on projects that we have ongoing to make sure things are going smooth. And I work on new marketing material and new sales material. So I'm really active on the front end in sales and marketing. But I also make sure that I keep the operations moving smoothly, that our techs are out there, that they're being scheduled properly, that the product's being shipped on time, and that sort of thing. But I'm less involved in that part of the operations than I used to be. I used to travel all the time. I was traveling at least 3 or 4 weeks out of the year, all over the country. And now we've got, we have our own techs that are on the road, and we've got other people doing the back of house operational type issues, and even following up with customers on questions that they have about, whether they do installations or they hire one of our partner firms to do installations. And so we really focus on customer service. We want to make sure we get back to people with any questions on anything as soon as possible. So I make sure that I keep a pulse on all of that, but I really focus on things like this and getting in front of new potential customers and doing the presentations and making sure that people understand what it is that we do and what it is that we don't do.
Okay, so you have a pretty sizable staff these days, then.
Well, there's really total. There's about 5 or 6 of us.
Okay.
And so it's not huge, but we can handle. I mean, we've done hundreds of hotels and multifamily operations, and we can handle a lot of volume with the staff that we have. I mean, we use AI. We have a lot of automated processes, which have made us a lot more efficient and makes our projects go much smoother. Things get done quickly and they get done right. You don't have to rely on somebody who's out on vacation until they can come back, because they're the only ones that know how to do it. So we've really focused on how the new technology can really help us run our business and keep our costs down.
That's a good one. That's a good one, because you mentioned AI about 3 times during this segment, and I appreciate that, because I'm a proponent of it as well. I mean, it makes our job a lot easier, efficient, used the right way, of course. But yeah, so that's good. So it's probably streamlined a lot of things for you. Probably things that you were doing manually. Now it probably does it takes a lot of those things off your plate, correct?
Yeah, it really has helped in a couple areas. So on the operational side, whether it's generating an invoice or um, creating a report or doing anything on that side of things, it's really helped to automate those processes. But on the other side, for like marketing, we can go to a hotel. We've developed AI agents that we use to analyze a hotel's whole media content. So anything related to showers, guest experience, renovation they just did, what's coming up. We run hotels that we run the assessments on through these agents so that we can tell how many bad reviews they have, how many good reviews they have, if they don't have any bad or good reviews about showers. So we keep expanding on that as these new models come out and can go deeper and deeper into that. We look as much as we can in terms of understanding a hotel and what the hotel's all about. Are they a resort? Are they a convention center? Are they in a big city? Are they in a small town? What things are important to them so that we actually get to the state when we can present the assessment, we understand a lot of what is important to them. So we're really utilizing AI a lot on the marketing end of things too.
Okay, so you target those particular companies. If AI scans like TripAdvisor, I'm just using it as an example, and it's looking for everything, some deficiencies in the shower, you target those hotels that it basically. Wow. Okay.
Absolutely, because what we found is that a lot of times a general manager at a hotel realizes they have a problem, but they don't know how to fix it. They don't know how to measure it and then how to fix it. So like I said before, most hotels that have guest complaints about showers, what they hear about is just the tip of the iceberg. There's so many more unsatisfied guests that they don't even know about. And they have no way to know unless they run an audit and go through one of our assessments.
Okay.
So so we scour the internet all the time looking for bad guest reviews, about bad showers and good ones too. I mean, we get guests that say, "Oh, the shower was great. It was just flowing like crazy." Well, that's an indication that they're wasting a lot of water and energy, and it's costing a lot of money. And so, both of those, when you think about it from our concept, a shower head is either operating the way it's supposed to in spec, it's running low, which means the flows are lower than they're supposed to be, or they're running higher. Well, those are three types of flows. And, it's like only 1/3, if everything being equal were correct, that would mean 1/3 of the flows are operating the way they should be. The other two are either upsetting your guests or they're costing you money. Either way, they're costing you money.
Exactly.
So what we do is increase the low flows, decrease the high flows, get them all right where they're supposed to be, balancing flows.
Okay. Now we all have competition, right? Now, do you have competition as well? You don't have to name who they are, but do you have competition as well?
We do have competition. We have indirect competition, and that is people just buying new equipment, new shower heads, new sinks.
Okay.
We have some direct competition with people who are conservation companies that basically come in and say, look, we will install low flow shower heads and aerators in your sinks and we'll save you money. So their approach is really off the shelf product. They come in, they slap it on, and they cut your water use. But it really doesn't address the guest satisfaction issue. So I have not, in 13, 14 years, I have not once come across any company that really addresses the guest satisfaction side of the equation like we do. Everybody I've come across basically just cuts water use with no regard to guest satisfaction or balanced flows for that matter.
Wow. Okay. I love this. So you're leading with guest satisfaction when you're meeting with a client, potential client. You're saying you're throwing that out there, I'm sure, several times. Guest satisfaction, right?
Yeah, because I mean, for almost 10 years, we built the business on reducing water use and saving water costs. But now we're understanding the guest satisfaction side so much better, and the impact it has on revenue and the operation of a hotel, that we're really and again, it depends on the assessment. To give you a quick idea, when we run an assessment on a hotel, sometimes we just ran one this week on a hotel that in Florida, and all their flows are high. They're above spec. So there's no guest satisfaction issue there.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about they're flowing way too high and they're wasting a lot of water and energy.
Mm-hmm.
We've done some hotels that the water audit comes back, all the flows are below spec. That's a heavy guest satisfaction issue, because so many of the rooms are disappointing guests that they need to increase those flows. Now, another misnomer is if you have low flows, you're not using as much water. But in some cases, there have been studies that we've done and other studies that have been done by different groups, engineering groups, and so forth, that show that if you don't get enough water or have enough water pressure to rinse soap out of your hair, you're going to take a longer shower. You're going to use a lot more water because you don't have enough to get the job done. Whereas if you did have more water, you could get it done quicker. Okay. So just because you have a lower flow doesn't mean you're really saving water. So that's kind of a misnomer.
I
a couple studies on it.
Thought about it like that. I never thought about it like that. Remember the example I gave you when we talked? It was called the One Hotel. They're here in West Hollywood, where I said I thought it was the best thing in the world because I never seen this before. They had an hourglass in the shower. So you would turn, with sand in the hourglass. So are the days of our lives. So so it was in the shower, and I was receiving a tour from the sales manager. I said, "What is that?" And he said, "Oh, that's an hourglass." So because we're big on water conservation, and we want people to only take 5-minute showers. We're big on 5-minute showers, right? So this was set for it was a 5-minute hourglass. So when they got in the shower, turned the water on, they turned it over. And then when the sand came out of it, that means it was 5 minutes. So he said, you'd be surprised how many people would do that and would come to the front desk and thank us. But now that you're mentioning what you mentioned about, like you're washing your hair or whatever, now it's going to take a little longer to do that. I mean, you may have the low flow shower heads and all that stuff, but if you have a lot of hair, it's going to take you a little bit longer to get the shampoo out of your hair. So I never thought about it like that.
Yeah, and I think having the hourglass deal is a good piece in trying to conserve water, because you're going to get a certain component, certain part of your guests are going to gravitate to that, and they're going to use it, and they're going to take less time in the shower. But you still have the issue, if you haven't balanced flows, that some showers are going to flow more than others. So if you take a 5-minute shower in a high flow room, you're going to still waste water. You take a 5-minute shower in a room where the flow's no good, you're still going to have a guest that's not satisfied. So that's a good component, and it probably does help save, but you still have the out of balance issue that really should be addressed. So that's a good and then, I mean, I can't tell you how many people I've known and people that I've heard about that go to hotels and they think, man, I'm going to love staying here for the next 3 days because I can take showers long and as hot as I want to. I can't do that at home, but that's one thing I look forward to when I go to a hotel. A lot of people are in that kind of deal.
Yeah. I was going to say something, but I don't think I should say that because when I go to hotels, I tend to take a longer shower because I don't do it at home, right? So. Yeah, I mean, I hate to say that, but yeah.
You just keep turning the hourglass.
Exactly. Next thing you know, it's 25 minutes, right? So,
yeah.
Oh, man. Okay, so I put another question up here. And you may have answered this question already. I don't know. But what's the biggest mistake hotels make when it comes to water conservation and the guest experience?
So a lot of hotels think, hey, I'm going to buy this shower head that has a lower flow rate. I'm conserving water, and because we're conserving water, that's got to make the guests happy, right?
Mhm.
Well, not really, because you're making the mistake of thinking that you've got balanced flows, and you don't. You're making the mistake of thinking you're reducing your water consumption, but you're doing that without regard to guest satisfaction, because you decrease your consumption and you don't do it in a balanced way. You're going to decrease the guest experience over more guests. So I think that's really the biggest mistake that hotels can make.
Okay. Okay. Let's see if I have another one here. When it comes to water conservation, what should every hotel do now? Like right now, once they see this, what
Yeah,
should they do?
measure, find out, run our Discovery Water Audit program, learn how to do the audit. We teach it for free. We give you the tools, and then we run the assessment for you. Find out how much you're wasting. Find out what the impact is on your revenue with guest satisfaction issues. Doesn't cost you anything. It takes a little bit of time, but it's easy, and then you know. Then you know.
Okay. I know you didn't. I don't think you put an amount on here. If if I'm an asset manager, hotel owner watching today, what's the return on investment? How quickly can I expect to see results? And you may have touched on this one already.
Well, from an asset management standpoint, owner standpoint, most of our projects installed, and the hotel can actually do the installation if they want to save even more money, but most of them opt for having one of our partners with certified installers do them. Most of our projects pay for themselves in less than 12 months.
Mm,
So the return is really compelling in almost every case.
wow. Okay. Okay.
A
So
lot
have
of
you?
people look at projects that are 24 months or even 36 months return, and it
Mhm.
makes sense for them. But ours is also relatively low cost. You're going to spend a lot less money balancing flows than you are buying new beds, for example, or new TVs.
Mhm.
So the ROI is compelling. The overall cost of our projects is usually compelling. And if you opt to have our certified installers do the installation, it's done within a couple of days, few days, depending on the size of the hotel. And it's done right, it's done quick, and you start getting the savings and the guest satisfaction improvement right away.
Very good. Have you ever had any client that was dissatisfied with the with what you gave them, with the number you gave them, or the assessment?
Well, yeah, we've had some assessments where the return just isn't there because
Okay.
there's not enough savings in terms of the utility side of things, and that's all they really pay attention to warrant the return, the
Mhm.
investment. The revenue side of things, there's still most asset managers and general managers understand those concepts, and we've had several over the past 2 3 years, several hotels that have actually bought on the guest experience side only with no cost savings on the utility side. So we're seeing a huge increase on that side of the equation because I think management is looking at how they can make improvements in their operational performance, but also in their brand and in the way people look at their hotel and the brand on guest satisfaction issues. They're becoming more minute and looking at those littler details that can have a big impact.
Okay. Okay. Now, who would you like to see this show that we're doing here? Who would you like to reach that maybe you have not reached before? Someone that's kind of, you know, they know you exist, but for whatever reason they haven't reached out to you. Who is that?
Those are hotel ownership groups. We've worked with a lot of them, and we've worked with a lot of them in big ways, like Pebblebrook. We've been through their whole portfolio. There's other ones that we have been maybe done one assessment for or haven't done any. And they're focused over here when they should be focused over here.
Mm,
We want to get in front of those people. We want to get in front of the people that don't know enough about what it is that we do so that they understand what we do. Because again, what doesn't get measured doesn't get fixed, right? And so how do you know if you haven't measured it? So we encourage anybody that either sitting on the fence or doesn't know about what we do. Those are the people we want to get this program and just what we do. We want to get in front of those people.
Okay. So like the Aimbridges of the world, they need to be reaching out to you, right? Like my good friend Joe Tatizian, who's a vice president of Aimbridge. You need to listen to this conversation, Joe. Okay.
Yeah. Now, it's interesting you bring that up because management groups like HEI and Aimbridge and Davidson and a lot of these, because we work mostly with owners, the owner will say, hey, we want to do this project. And then they'll turn it over to their Aimbridge guy, who's the regional manager for these hotels. Then we'll run through him. And then sometimes he'll pick up and say, hey, I could give some value to my other owners by introducing these guys. So the management companies are also a really great resource because for them, they can add more value to their owners by running them through our assessment. Again, it doesn't cost anything. And if the numbers are compelling enough, the owner wants to do it, then the management group just gave a lot more value to that owner. And we're such a small niche. I mean, it's really, you get a lot of companies that do major renovations or, sell big ticket items. And we really have this little niche that can be really, really powerful. So yeah, the management companies, we've had a couple people at Aimbridge that have worked on our projects and Davidson and several of the other management groups. And those are a great resource. They should be watching this and they should be helping their owners by getting them measured.
Yes, they should. I'm gonna mention a couple people: Jim Schichter, Larry Broaden. Make sure you guys watch this, listen to it, and reach out because they all have hotels or they manage hotels. And they're asset managers. So I hate to be name dropping, but I think it's called for in this case. So definitely going to do that because I think it's great. I mean, there's something a former general manager we never thought about because we're concentrating on PM in the rooms and there's costs for water and this and that. But as long as we had low flow toilets and low flow shower heads, that was it. We didn't think about assessments to see how much water is coming in. Are we wasting water? We weren't thinking about that. And I guarantee you 99% of the general managers out there are not thinking about it as well.
I think you're right.
Yeah. So there you go. So I think I have one more question. And we're almost, remember I said that we're going to start talking and next thing you know, time's going to be almost up. Well, we're within 10 minutes of 2:00. So let's see. We're on with Rick the Water Guy. Any comments at all? Feel free to make your comments. We're live on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. So if you're on either one of those platforms, you want to make comments, there's still time. There's still time to make comments. So I appreciate the people that are looking or kind of listening to us and watching us because I'm looking at two monitors right here. So I know people are there, but you're not making any comments. So feel free to make comments if that's what you want to do. And I have one other question, I believe. I see this is my Morgan on Instagram, and I see Sammy on the move. So thank you so much for joining us on Instagram as well. Appreciate you guys. If you have comments, go ahead and make your comments. Can a great shower experience become a competitive advantage? Guests talk about beds and breakfast, but do they also remember the shower?
Yeah, it's a good question. You even mentioned when we first met how important a shower is to you when you go to a hotel. A lot of guests, shower is one of the most important things there. There's a famous guy who's very well known in the hotel industry that says he travels around with his pliers because the first thing he does when he goes into a room is take the restrictor out of the shower head so he has a really good shower no matter what. And a shower can be a competitive advantage if you know I mean, we're not there yet. I would love the day when a guest knows to ask a shower at front desk, do you have balanced flows? And if they say no, I'm not worth taking the chance to get a bad shower. I'm going over here to this hotel because I know they do have balanced flows. Some point in time, that's going to become a thing, I think, where it's going to be important. Think about things that are happening today with cars, all the bells and whistles that cars have. Back in when I was young, for electric windows were a new thing, and then everybody wanted it, right? So you get to the point where, people are really evaluating hotels on everything from the lobby and the hallway and the doors and the what's in the room, the way the room looks, and in the bathroom, obviously the shower and the sink. But I think the shower is such an important and overlooked aspect of the guest experience, and it's becoming more and more, I think, something that now asset managers and general managers now can really dial in and find out if it's a problem, and if it is, fix it without spending a ton of money.
Yes, I see that as well. I see shower heads and lighting in the bathroom as two of the things that people we I don't know if we forget about it. We don't try to enhance it. We don't want to fix it. I don't improve it. I don't know what that is, but for years, lighting in the bathroom and a shower head is a big deal. So, but anyway, hey, what do I know? What do I know? So, okay, we're almost out of time here, Rick. So, I'm gonna give you the floor here. Like, what would you want to say? Whatever you want to say, you go ahead and say it. I mean, within reason. Don't get carried away.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing about what we do for our customers, mainly hotel owners, is we uncover hidden losses, and those hidden losses are, really costs on the waste side, and their revenue, which is usually even more important, on the guest satisfaction side. And water conservation, energy conservation is also a big piece of what we do. So it's amazing at such a small kind of micro area of a hotel how big the impact is, because you've got guest satisfaction issues, you've got revenue issues, you've got water and energy conservation issues, and you have cost issues. And all of those, most hotels are out of balance in their sinks and showers, and they're all over the place, and they have no idea. They have no idea how much the impact is. So I think it's just really worth the time and the energy, and it's almost no cost to run through our Discovery Water Audit program and have your water flows assessed and find out how big of an impact they're making on those areas.
I love it. I love it. What I'm doing right now, I'm gonna, because I forgot to type your email, because I want people to be able to reach out to you. Let's see, where is it at? What do I do with it? Is that right?
That's it.
That's it. Okay. So that is Rick's. Let me do this right. Let's see. Hold on one second. Copy, paste. Make sure I got your name and everything on here as well. Okay. All right. I think I got it. Okay. So that's his information right there. Email is right there as well. So feel free to reach out to Rick. Let him know that you saw him on this show. You love what he had to say, and that Russell's a great guy. Whatever you need to say, go ahead and say that. So he'll remember that. But no, I thank you, Rick, for coming on, because I think this was every now and then I come across someone that I never come across before, meaning someone that's doing something that's different and has a different spin on this world we call hospitality, right? And sometimes we don't think that's a big thing, but But when I read, like I said, when I read what you sent me and that 900 million gallons, it stuck out. I'm like, we're supposed to be conserving water. Why are we wasting that much water, right? But I mean, that was an attention grabber for me. And every now and then I come across that, but I don't. It's been a long time since something like that has grabbed me and say, you know what, I have to have a conversation with this gentleman because this is something that we're missing the boat on. And it comes down to guest satisfaction. At the end of the day, it's about guest satisfaction. Okay, what are we doing? Yeah, and if we can save a couple of dollars on that, then we're all for that as well. But every hotel sends out guest surveys, and a lot of stuff has to do with was everything in operational? Did everything operate well for you? And a lot of hotels are missing I guess, a passing score, and I don't think they really know why. And I think one of those things you're pointing to is the water flow that goes on in a bathroom, which
Yep.
we take for granted. A lot of times, the general managers, maybe asset managers, you don't know what you don't know. We talked about that earlier.
Exactly.
Yeah, and
They can do something about it. So what
Yes.
I encourage them to do is own your flow. Fix it.
Own your flow.
Own your flow. Find out about it and then fix it.
Wow. Hey, there you go. That's all you need to say right there. Own your flow.
That's right.
I love it. All right. Well, thank you so much. See, we got 1 minute left. See, there you go. So thank you so much, Rick. I appreciate you coming on. Thank everybody that joined. Feel free to make comments, even if we're, not live anymore. Feel free to make comments on the replay if you want to. LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, not Instagram though, because this is only live on Instagram. It will not be. I will not save this forever. Okay, but LinkedIn will be, YouTube will be, Facebook will be there forever. So we'll be able to draw off of this. So in fact, Rick, I mean, if you want this for your own page, you can save this and copy and or however you want to do it. If you want me to send you the link, I can.
Yeah, I love it. Send me the link.
Okay, we'll do that. But thank you so much. I appreciate you. I appreciate your assistant Simi for assisting us as well. So thank you again. And then that's it. So you guys have a great day. And that's it. So thank you again, Rick. Tomorrow I do the daily check-in with Russell of Hotels. This show right here, On Air with Russell of Hotels, comes on every Tuesday at 1:00. Same platforms, but I do a daily check-in. It's Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So tomorrow, of course, I'll be there probably rehashing this conversation I had with Rick today. So there you go. So Rick, let's stay in touch, please.
Absolutely.
Anything I can do to help you, maybe introduce you to some people, because I'm gonna start mentioning you now to some of my colleagues, people I used to work with, people that are VPs now and asset managers or whatever. So I definitely will do that.
Well, you know what? One thing you can do, you and anybody else watching this, if you go to a hotel and you're in a room where you don't have a good enough shower experience, tell them to contact me so we can find out what we can do to fix it.
Sounds good. I love it.
They can own their flow.
All right. Thank you so much, Rick. You take care. Have a great day.